Okay, so it is the day after Saturday, which is Sunday, and we're going to talk about probably like 4 games, maybe 5, and go over the ones that were interesting and the ones that were not. Okay, we're going to start with Clemson and Florida State. Everyone thought that Florida State was going to lose this game because they almost lost the last game, which was to Boston College, which is absolutely a terrible football team this year. Last year, the year before that. Basically, any point after 2007, they've sucked. And I don't know that for a fact. I'm just kind of guessing because everything after 2007 in the college football world just generally sucked. So, Clemson did not beat. Clemson lost to Florida State, went to overtime. My prediction at the beginning of the year was Florida State was making it to the national title. I do not think that that's going to not happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I think there are too many decently good teams for Florida State to actually make their way through it. Everyone thought that Clemson was kind of going to get blown out. I didn't really think so because I realized that even though Clemson lost to Duke and struggled with Charleston and then had another game, and I think they won that handedly as well. They still have a lot of talent, and they still know how to use that talent for the most part. They just don't recruit talent at the height that they once did, whether through the portal, because Dabo Swinney doesn't use the portal, or through just by way of traveling the country and looking at high school students. Sounds very weird. Anyway, USC beat Arizona State 42-28. That was okay. Iowa got blanked 31-0. I wonder what that's going to do for the offensive coordinator's job, because apparently there's a stipulation where he has to score at least 25 points per game average to keep his job. So I don't know. Cal and Washington played, and Washington beat them 59-32. Let's see. I think this was the first or second year of the college. This was like the third year, maybe. Fourth year? I can't remember. Washington played Alabama in the playoff. They got beat 24-7. They probably could have gotten beat a lot worse. But, yeah, this is like the best Washington has been since that time. I'm very excited for them. I hope they continue to do well. Their QB, who once played for Indiana, now plays for them. Micah? I think it's Micah. Oh my gosh. I cannot handle... What are you doing? Sorry, ESPN just decides to glitch out at the worst times. Anyway, Washington's doing pretty well. They're in a pretty BS conference, so I'd imagine them winning a number of their games. I think they play Oregon. I think they do play Oregon. And I think they play USC this year. Oh my goodness gracious. I would love to know what's happening to this dang thing. Thank you. Yeah, so, yes, they play USC and Oregon this year, and everyone else, and Utah. And it's USC and Utah back-to-back, so we'll see how that shakes for them. Let's see. Wisconsin beat Purdue 38-17. Virginia almost won a game, but they lost by 3. Sad. That's not interesting. Florida won by a very horrible margin of 22-7. You'd think a team like that would have blown them out of the water. I don't know what's going on, but like it seems like they're padding either Mertz's stats or what, because this man only threw like 40 some odd passes. He got like 20 of 23 or some shit like that. Let me see. This game, 20 of 23 for 259 yards and a TD. That's pretty good, but when you're playing Charlotte, I'd expect like 2 or 3 TDs, but maybe that's because I live in 2004. Texas beat Baylor. Georgia beat UAB. That's not interesting. I guess the last interesting game... Oh, there are 2 last interesting games that people probably want to know about. Maybe 3. Maybe 4. I'll just go over them quickly. Alabama beat Ole Miss 24-10. Everyone thought Ole Miss was going to win because Alabama has not been very good. However, that was a stupid thing to think. I would like to compare Lane Kiffin to Dan Mullen, who can scheme up really well, coach you to a few really good wins, but then when it comes to... Well, actually, maybe Dan Mullen's a little better, because at least Dan Mullen can beat some teams, like beating LSU at home that one year with Felipe, and then whatever else he did. But yeah. And then LSU beat Arkansas 34-31. LSU had that in the bag for like most of the game, and then they decided to, I guess, shit themselves. No, not LSU. Arkansas had that in the bag for most of the game, and then they shit themselves. Oregon beat Colorado 42-6. I knew that was happening. I think everyone with a brain knew that was happening. But apparently, I didn't think this was real. But I guess there are just Deion fans, and then there are college football fans, and Deion fans are just so ride or die for their team, or not even for their team, for Deion, that they're willing to, I don't know what they're willing to do. But I didn't really get into an argument. I questioned somebody on their thought of Colorado, and then they were like, "You don't know football, what are you talking about?" I was like, well, okay, you're just a Deion fan, because he then pointed out in a later comment that you're just a Deion hater. And I was like, well, I was at the beginning, and then I saw him play 3 games, and I was like, man, they're pretty good. And then I realized, wait a minute. How is a team that had like no recruiting class last year and the year before that suddenly just going to start winning, regardless of who Deion Sanders brings in from Jackson State or recruits? So we'll see if he can put together a recruiting class. Because I looked at their recruiting class for, I think, this upcoming year, and it didn't look amazing. So I don't know. And if you can't recruit in this sport, you're not going to win. The last game I'm going to talk about is Notre Dame and Ohio State. Man, I'm disappointed in Notre Dame. Very, very much disappointed. Very sad they couldn't win that game. Couldn't even get 3 points in the first or second quarter. Like, what the fuck? You've been scoring all year, but then again, you've played nobody all year, so that would make a lot of sense. They lost by 3 points, so it's not too bad. But I don't know. I can't tell if Ohio State's good or if they're just like, I don't know. But I don't know. I guess they're okay. I have no idea. Anyway, I think they scored like in the last 10 seconds of the game, so that's cool. But yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. I got nothing else. Next week's games look... Oh, wow. We're in week 4 already. So we're going to be in week 5. Holy shit. Next week's games aren't that exciting. Well, yeah, they are. Kentucky plays Florida. USC plays Colorado. Oh, yeah. What is it? Northwestern won a game. That's right, they did. I think they beat Minnesota. That was very interesting to see. I'd fire PJ if I were them, but they're not going to, because they're going to be stuck in the revolving door of just having a good coach that'll get you to 8 or 9 win games, and then maybe occasionally an 11 win season. Yeah, that's it. There's nothing else exciting going on. Maybe Texas and Kansas. Maybe that one will be exciting. But other than that, that's it. Anyway. Oh, Vanderbilt, Missouri. That should be a really good game. Because Missouri, won by, 7 points yesterday against Middle Tennessee. So I'm not sure if they're actually really good or if it's just... I don't know. Anyway, that's it. It's already too long of a video. I'll see you later.